Hey guys, thanks for joining me, or probably my last content video for the U.K.G.E 2018. We obviously it's been about 2 weeks now since the expo ended. It was great, and I'm going to do a little recap video. But with the recap, I'm also going to announce some of the competition winners. So we obviously had a couple of prizes up for grabs through the various content videos. We had a couple of games from the expo preview video. We had a couple of expansions, painted expansions for Win Gambit at the expo itself via the raffle, and we also had Easy Breezy travel agency game on the CCG video, I believe, or maybe it was the walkthrough video, one of the two. I've also posted up on my other channel, Battle Knights. I did a little more of like a self-indulgent video where I posted up footage of all the stands that had painted stuff by me and painting nights at the expo. So that was a nice little sort of diary video from myself. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly say what I thought of the expo this year from various perspectives, and then I'll announce the winners. So we obviously, as a group, go down and help Barney at the CCG Board Game and Social stand, and we help set up the stand, sell the games, and in return he obviously gets us in as vendors and that sort of thing, and obviously he pays for our hotel, which is cool because the hotels are getting really expensive now, and I'm not sure how that's going to work next year because it's getting expensive. Anyway, from a vendor's perspective, I thought the second hall was really good. I think that spread out people, which meant they weren't so shoulder to shoulder, rammed into each other. It was a nice sort of distance. I don't know if you saw during the CCG video. It was pretty busy at certain points, but then at certain points it was quite empty. And that allowed you to talk more peacefully to people rather than having to like go, what do you need? Let's go, let's go, let's go, because there's loads of people standing around waiting to be helped and that sort of thing. So obviously with the more space comes with more people wandering throughout the hall to find what else is available. So I thought that was really good. Apparently this numbers went up. There was about 20,000 people went there. It didn't feel like it, so that's it was still busy, but it didn't feel like holy crap it was busy. Obviously we were really tired and busy, but it didn't feel like last year on the Friday. It was so busy that I hardly got to speak to anyone. So I think from a vendor's perspective, it was pretty good. I still think from the show's perspective, there's not a lot in terms of from a hardcore gamer's perspective. Someone who follows the industry a lot and keeps a lookout on all the games and stuff. There's never that big release at the expo. I mean, we had obviously a few indie releases, but they were mostly, this is coming to Kickstarter, or you could back us on Kickstarter now, or that sort of thing. So it's all about showing the game, but not necessarily buying the game. Eastern Wonders was obviously there, that was released, and that's a pretty big game, I thought. And then there was obviously, I did the preview video where you could see some of the games released or being demoed. But I never feel like, also we don't get a lot of the American publishers. We're starting to get a little more of a trickle, of other publishers coming through, more European publishers, which is cool. Obviously like NSKN or Tipia, those type of guys. But a lot of the Americans don't feel it's quite worth the trek yet, especially with it being so close, or reasonably close to Essen in terms of time frame. I suppose that you're always going to pick Essen over the Expo, but as it's growing and getting better, in my opinion, I feel like it's still worth keeping sort of a look at. I thought the layout from a vendor's perspective was a little weird. I mean, I'm no expert at how you would lay out a stand or how the stands are laid out, but I suspect due to the fact that some stands come in really late, some book really early, laying out the floor plan is not as easy as it sounds. But still, I felt like the layout was really weird. Like it's, in America you have like this grid system where you can go just in crosses, which maybe leaves you to forgetting where you've been maybe. But in this one, it was more like a maze. So I felt like, if you go down one aisle and then turn left and then go down the left aisle, so you've walked in sort of a U formation, you will miss stuff because there's another aisle in the middle of some of the aisles. And That's really weird. I mean, from where we were standing, a lot of people said they couldn't find us or missed us because we were in one of those little middle aisles of a U. And then obviously some stands right in the corners, and I would imagine got that much business due to the fact that it's so spread out. Anyway, that was the only real gripe I had. Oh, and the fact that it was really hot. I mean, wow. They said the air cons were on, but 20,000 people in a hall. Um, it was so hot. Luckily, it wasn't ram packed. So there was that. Um, yeah, the press previews and stuff were cool. The press preview is much bigger than it was last year, which is cool. It's still a little chaotic, because you literally just people just herding around, and then all of a sudden go 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 into the hall you go, and you know you just running around looking at stuff. There's no talking to people. There's no real organization as such, but there's not much really you can do. Um, Unless you have like the hall for a whole other day where people are standing at their stalls and you can go around, which I think would be too cost expensive. Although apparently the Essen press preview is really good, so I wouldn't mind going there one day. From myself, as gaming nights and painting nights, I had a really good time. I thought I got to, best thing about these sort of conventions is getting to meet up with people that you either work with or get to know and become friends with that you don't really get to see that often. So conventions like these are brilliant for that because then you get to see the people you talk to online or people you work with in terms of they contact you online to do some work for you or for them, and you get to see them now in the flesh, have a beer with them, that sort of thing. That's really cool. Even people that you don't work with, people that you just talk to online, with the various Facebook groups and stuff like that. That is really important as well. Like you get to meet those people. So I really enjoyed it from that perspective. Um, I got some more work out of the expo, which is really cool. So more painting jobs, more reviewing jobs, things like that. So from that perspective, I was really happy with that. Um, I got to talk to a lot of gamers at the stand as a worker for Barney, and I always enjoy that as well because one thing that Barney insists on, and I agree with, is that instead of just being the hard sell, it's more about talking to the people and making them feel like you're more than just a seller, you're a gamer yourself, which is totally cool. Um, yeah, so I think from a shop's perspective, it was pretty decent. I think from my perspective, as a different type of industry with the painting and the gaming and reviewing and stuff, I thought it was really cool. I think from a punter's perspective, so someone who's come there just to enjoy the what it has to offer, I actually thought it was probably the best it's been. I mean, there was way more space to play on now than I think I've ever seen at the expo. I mean, when we were doing the walkthrough of the Hall 1 on the video, we didn't even get to Hall 2, and I didn't see much of Hall 2, but I did go there obviously for the press preview, and I got to see the massive gaming space that it had there. So, and obviously all the tournament space as well. Um, so just from that perspective, there's a lot more space there to play, and obviously you can go to Thirsty Meeples and hire out a game to go play there, or buy the games you just tried in the hall, demo halls and stuff like that. But even just going from the stand to stand, in Hall 1, there were so many more tables with games set out ready to go that you could just drop in and play. And I didn't feel like based on what I didn't get to demo many games, if any at all. But it didn't feel like to me like people were standing around for hours waiting to get a demo. It was, you walk along the hall, you see a game you like, sit down, have a game. There's people there to demo it and show you how to play, which is awesome. It's better than having to learn the rules all the time. So I think that was really cool. I mean, from that perspective, there's so much more to do in terms of gameplay. And obviously, they have all the family stuff as usual, the Haber stands, the family zone, and all those type of things. And obviously, the gaming space upstairs. So from that perspective, I thought it was really good. I think from a shopping perspective, I mean, you could get some decent deals, and uh, I don't know really on the cost of getting in where and cost of traveling whether that all works out. But by meeting people, by trying out new games that they're demoing to you, by being to buy more games. I think from the food perspective as well, there was enough food there, with a food court outside HSBC, the Hilton, and the food places available at the NEC and the surrounding areas. The beautiful area that you sit in as well, like outside, where the Vikings and the Orcs were fighting. There's a lake with a garden, and there's a hotel just, no, not the shopping center just up the top. So it's beautiful, and it's a great venue. Plenty of parking. Yes, you might have to, walk a little bit. I've seen a couple of videos where people are complaining about how far they had to walk, but I'm pretty sure there's a bus service, like a sort of, if you park really far away, you can get a bus service to the sort of main entrance, which then is like maybe a 2-3 minute walk. So yeah, I thought it was great, brilliant. In the evening, gaming in the evening, I thought that was, for the last 2 or 3 years, maybe 2 years, the last two expos, it's been so packed in those areas, and they had, kept having to open more and more space for people to play, and it was just getting so packed and so hot, that it wasn't really working. And I felt, from a personal perspective, once you finish your shift at 6 o'clock, and then you go back to the hotel and you have a shower and you grab something to eat, and you go back to one of those halls, and it's so packed and it's so noisy and stuff, you just, I can't be asked. But this year it was a little different. I mean, it was still busy and it was still pretty warm, but it didn't feel like, you had to wait long to get a table. We found the tables pretty quickly, and we played games till, God knows what time. Obviously drinks are still quite expensive, but yeah, so I thought that was all handled pretty well. I think the overall experience, this has been the best expo that I can remember. So I think thumbs up, definitely. Super looking forward to the next one. Okay, so anyway, that's enough of me rambling about this year's expo. I thought it was great. I had a great time. I got to see lots of cool people and meet a lot of friends and stuff. So I had a great time. Anyway, let's get to some competitions. So at the expo itself, we had 2 copies of the Wind Gambit expansion, which I had painted up, which was the ship's expansion. One was won by Dave Bennett, and I'll put a picture up here. The other one was won by Iola Williams. I don't have a picture of her yet, but her copy is getting sent off. The Game of 49, which is this one right here, this was won by Sean Newman. Obviously, his comment was drawn from the preview thing. And Outpost Siberia was won by Helena Clarkson. So I'll obviously send you guys a message, but if you see this video, you can either comment on this, get in touch with me via the link on my Painting Nights Facebook page, or try and get through on me here as well. And then Easy Breezy Travel Agency was won by Matt Green. It was obviously his birthday about 2 days ago, so happy birthday and congratulations. So those are the winners of these competitions. Congratulations, guys. I hope you enjoy your games. I'll get them posted off to you as soon as I get your addresses and stuff. And then we'll be doing some more competitions in the future. I've got some interesting content coming up for the channel in the future. I've got some interviews planned with some designers and publishers. Obviously more reviews and playthroughs and stuff like that. And maybe do a couple of more interesting things. I don't know. I've got some ideas. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks for watching this ramble. See you guys later. Bye.